I typically follow Ethereum a lot closer. We've been seeing good support around the 2000 level. And I think that 2100 is really the support that we want to see. If we were to break below 2100, I think that would be bearish for the short to mid-term, right? We're still extremely bullish long-term, but we're looking to stay above 2100. And I think on the upside, obviously we've got to kind of break through this 3000 ceiling level. And if we can get past there, I think we're on track to being at a $10,000 Ethereum within about 12 months. So that is very, very exciting for all those ETH holders out there.
Hey everyone, welcome to another AB research update. And August 22nd, got an incredible rundown for everyone. Starting with this beautiful, this looks nice. Mark, you made this?
Hell fucking yeah, brother. Blood, sweat, and tears. This is just a super fast overview of our overhaul that we've had on the website. Monty, you could scroll through slow if you want to. As you guys know, AdvantageBlockchain.com is home to all your educational research and investing tools that you guys need for on-chain everything. So we are pushing a lot of stuff. This is actually not even the most recent update. But that is okay. Maybe.
Is there a better logo in all of crypto? I'm not sure, honestly.
Refresh this, Monty. Let me see if it's let me see. Okay, scroll one more time.
Look how clean that is.
There we go. This is the overhaul that we've been fucking cooking on. So as you guys know, AB is all about research, education, and investing, and we're trying to give you guys the tools to do this stuff yourselves, to do your own research, unlock value for your business, unlock value for your portfolio. We've also just launched our new research landing page, which is where you guys are going to find all kinds of tools for everything. So we're trying to make this complex ecosystem a lot clearer for everyone to understand and hopefully make some money.
Mark, if AB doesn't work out, you've always got a career in website design and even certificate design. I've seen you make some certificates; they look good too.
Hell yeah, Monty! You could scroll down to our mission on this one, and then.
Did you ChatGPT Digital Frontier with this?
No, brother. This is all me. Go. This is blood, sweat.
How long did it take you to make this?
I don't even want to talk about it. Probably a lot of time that I should have spent researching trades.
That's okay. It looks pretty clean. Oh, well done. New website. New face of it.
New mission, it looks like, too.
Slightly updated mission. We're bringing the world on chain securely. Added that in there. And doing it for financial freedom and prosperity worldwide for you guys.
Give the people what they want. Well done, Mark.
That's all my promo for the day.
All right. Well, now it's my turn for a little promo. Not only do we have an updated website, but AB launched our research letter last week. As you can see here, the August topics. Pretty topical stuff. We won't go through them too much here, but this is our monthly newsletter that we send out that covers all relevant topics. We have our team here write different articles, different every month, and it's pretty informal. It ranges the gamut from kind of nerdy L2 deep stuff to alluvials, which are similar to Pokemon, to the crypto election. Why are we here? And we think if you read this monthly, you're ahead of maybe 95% of other crypto users, and we're trying to get you on chain and educated.
Amen, brother.
Yeah.
We're moving sideways, right? If you want to go to, why don't you check out the monthly volume or the monthly candles to see the real big picture, right? We are, the big battle has been, are we going to go to 70,000 or 50,000 first, right? So we just, we touched down to 50,000 in this past week. And of course, ETH is tailing behind. I think that we are well into cycle 3 or cycle 4 of the sort of macro Bitcoin and ETH cycles. But, long story short, I think we're going to the moon.
What's interesting is there was a lot of Bitcoin selling from various things with the U.S. government, German government, various things. Obviously with Silk Road happening, that was huge. But it seems like there's good consolidation and resistance, and the top of like the 2021 cycle is now seems to be the resistance at the bottom. So it seems like a good flip. I mean, it just seems like it's repeating what we saw in the last cycle. So I'm super excited about both Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah, adding in there, I think I remember in late 2020, early 2021, when Ethereum was struggling at like 1,400, and then it broke through and it hit like 2,200 a few days later. Where once these bad boys run, he can get wacky pretty quickly. So
yeah.
You don't.
And we're also a little over the month point of when the ETF started trading, which is similar to the point where Bitcoin really started to take off. Remember, Bitcoin really dropped off in price after the ETF launched. A lot of people were exiting the Grayscale Trust and moving into the other ETFs. It's just better for fees and just better for management. And I think we saw something similar with ETH. Bitcoin, after that drop, I think it was dropped maybe 10 to 20%, ended up going up about 95% from there. So, hopefully we see some similar price action with ETH, but I don't see why we wouldn't.
Yeah, as you guys know, AB Fund is a fully liquid, fully on-chain fund. So we follow ETH, we follow Bitcoin, we follow everything very closely. I typically follow Ethereum a lot closer. We've been seeing good support around the 2,000 level. And I think that 2,100 is really the support that we want to see. If we were to break below 2,100, I think that would be bearish for the short to mid-term, right? We're still extremely bullish long-term, but we're looking to stay above 2,100. And I think on the upside, obviously, we've got to kind of break through this 3,000 ceiling level. And if we can get past there, I think we're on track to being at a $10,000 Ethereum within about 12 months. So that is very, very exciting for all those ETH holders out there.
As people say, history repeats itself. So here's kind of Bitcoin monthly returns. I don't know if this is some bad news for us, but a lot of times August, September are actually the worst months throughout the year for these digital assets. It's a summertime break, less trading. Next month is September, so I don't know if that's bearish or if we can buck the trend. But post kind of there's some catalysts in September, including the Fed meeting and kind of the election getting closer that could really provide some lighter fluid on the fires of Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah, if you want to scroll down here, go to the quarterly view. That's super helpful to see basically Bitcoin's quarterly returns every single quarter since inception. I believe this is CoinRank, coinrank.com. And they've got really good analytics. So not only do they have the quarterly for pretty much everything, but you could also go in and see the fundraising details, almost like a pitch book for crypto. So if you were to go to Ethereum on this same site, and you could check out, I believe it's on analytics as well, or click on token sale actually. So whether they did a token sale or they did a fundraising round, this is an aggregator that has so much data on a lot of different coins, right? So you can see all these different backers, investors like Andreessen Horowitz, and actually how much they're up as well to date, right? So you can see, people who got into this Ethereum ICO, obviously.
These people didn't get into Ethereum ICO though.
Yeah.
No chance. Multicoin did not get an Ethereum ICO.
Yep.
Are we serious? Wow.
Yep. All these guys. I believe that this is accurate.
I would push back. I don't think this many I could be wrong here, but this seems like a lot of traditional finance firms. Like Alameda wasn't even around during the traditional Ethereum ICO. We could double check and dive deeper into CoinRank. I just found this tool, so not positive. But if you look at other coins too, like you could check out Solana, you could check out. I was just looking at Celestia.
There's a lot of different projects that have their fundraising details on there. So even if it's not fully accurate, it still is a lot more information than something like just CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap shows. So this is a really great tool for people to be able to get some price history in a more detailed analytical fashion.
Yeah, this is a cool tool. It's very cyclical, so I think seeing the different quarterly returns or the monthly returns really makes a difference because the market is always cycling. So typically you'll see some of those patterns play out.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, I mean, as we see here, unfortunately, Q3 historically has not been the best quarter for crypto. So we keep that in mind as we kind of get through the rest of this quarter. I mean, it's already been hit pretty hard, so we might, so it might be the worst behind us, but it's just always something to kind of understand that crypto does have cycles. It's, I think it was it 20, the cycles were 2017, 2021, 2025, every 4 years or so. Yeah, it's if you pay attention like that, it might seem easy. I should say easy, but more predictable than if you're just checking the daily charts every day. I think Beckman said in this adoption curve. You want to walk us through that?
Yeah, just super exciting. Something I saw on Twitter earlier this week, and essentially what it outlines is how Bitcoin has been adopted at the same rate that the internet has. And if you look at where the internet is in the same regard as where Bitcoin is now in terms of adoption, it is right around 1999. So it's just a testament to how early we are and how it really has been adopted at the same rate, which is if I was a betting man and I was seeing this and kind of knowing all the things that I know about adoption and the economics behind Bitcoin, I mean, it just seems like really a no-brainer in terms of investment, but that's just me personally, and obviously not financial advice.
What happened to internet stocks after 1999?
I mean, there definitely was a bubble, but look at where they are now. Look at where the
what happened to the top 10%?
Yeah, well, some of them crashed, but then some of them became the biggest companies in the world.
But if you look at it like I would say the equiplement of pets.com could be like some meme coin that
Algorand.
Algorand.
Yeah, I mean, I think just to add on to your point here, I think crypto is starting to hit the phase where they're separating kind of the froth, the potential from kind of revenue, real use projects. Over the past few cycles, you could raise a lot of money on ideas. But especially now this cycle, you're starting to see crypto apps, for example, Polymarket, that's quoted by both potential presidential administrations as a real use case, and apps like that will float to the top, and apps that say they're going to do something but don't do anything, those would be like the internet kind of companies that fell to the side, in my mind.
I love it. We're early. We are so early.
Right. And what is this? Is this just all of the...
This is me too. Another thing I saw on Twitter, but it's just who in terms of the top 25 hedge funds in America has Bitcoin exposure. I mean, these are the top of the top, the best hedge funds in the entire world. And you can see a majority of them, 15 out of the 25, do have exposure to Bitcoin through the ETFs, which, obviously at Advantage Blockchain, we prefer to hold the actual tokens, which I think is a huge advantage. And the point of crypto, still think it's really positive that these incredible investors are seeing the value in Bitcoin. I imagine that they'll eventually see the value in Ethereum as well, with ETFs being available to them. But it just goes to show, because there's only a finite amount of Bitcoin, and same with Ethereum now being a deflationary asset and having a max supply, the more people that are competing to own these assets, the less will be available on exchanges, and the more the price should go up if the demand stays either even linear in terms of growth. And then I saw something earlier this week that I thought was interesting. I don't think we have the chart, but Ethereum, the supply has on exchanges has dipped below 10% of circulating supply for the first time ever, which just goes to show that there's less available. There's more long-term holders, which is super exciting for price action.
Yeah, I think AB Fund is actually 26 on this list. It's a shame that this only goes up to 25.
So are these funds only getting BTC since the ETF started? Basically?
No, I want to hop in here because I think this is kind of a important point that there's two different types of Bitcoin holders, especially with kind of funds like this. So there's some pod shops that really don't take directional bets. So if I can give you some examples on the list here, look at Citadel, look at Millennium, look at Renaissance, look at Point72, DE Shaw. What I would imagine all of these guys are doing are they're holding the Bitcoin ETFs, but they're doing the carry trade where they're selling the futures because usually the futures are more expensive. So they might actually have they might have a net neutral Bitcoin position. So I don't know if those give too much signal actually because they're clipping the carry trade versus long-term investments. But there are managers like kind of Fortress and Bluecrest that in my mind actually give a lot more value because those are the type of people that are maybe long-term holders versus people that are clipping the carry trade. Just to throw that in there.
I love it. This is good intel.
Yeah, just to kind of touch upon that some hedge funds, especially larger ones, you would get fired for just taking an outright Bitcoin long, even if that's a good trade, that's just not within your risk profile. So they are using Bitcoin to generate returns, but in a much more complicated way where they buy the underlying spot ETFs, they sell the futures, they clip some basis point spread there, and they just keep running that as long as the futures are more expensive, and that's generally been the case. So they are using Bitcoin. It does help grow Bitcoin, but it's a little different than just taking an outright long position. Just to clarify that. All right. Anything else to add here?
I'm just excited to get AB Fund on that list. Once we break top 25, it'll be a big day for us.
We will be on that list because we're holding just digital assets as opposed to having a small portion of our portfolio being in digital assets.
Let's come back in 12 months. We'll timestamp it.
Oh, look at this ad. Well, I guess it's because we're on a crypto site, but you gotta love to see it. Fucking BlackRock spending money on Ethereum ads. Goddamn.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is about State Street, who is the largest bank custodian in the entire world, and they are gearing up for more crypto exposure, more crypto and digital assets services for other companies. It was really exciting. And, they selected Taurus for crypto custody, which will just allow a lot of what they're doing to scale and improve, which is just really exciting. And they bought into the fact that their clients are going to want to be using digital assets and be custodying digital assets. We're seeing a lot of good traction with the banks. You see Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, a lot more of these banks getting more comfortable with crypto. And then JP Morgan and Onyx have been in the game for a while. Very exciting stuff in terms of institutional adoption.
Yeah, although there's some good stuff, but I actually had, this might be slightly off topic, but I had lunch with my friend she works at Bank of America, their private bank there. And she was telling me they actually had an HR seminar the other day that said they had to report any crypto related accounts and that those accounts would get closed by the bank. So we're kind of seeing a bifurcation on Wall Street of banks that are adopting crypto and looking kind of technology forward, and other banks such as, from what I can tell, Bank of America and like Vanguard that are a little more hostile to crypto. We'll see if that kind of stance plays out in the long term, if they're able to kind of keep their business without offering just this new asset class. We'll see what happens, but I thought it was an interesting anecdote because she doesn't know anything about crypto, but they basically told their whole firm to report it if they see it. So you're really starting to see two different levels of crypto adoption or kind of hatred on Wall Street forming, which is interesting. Not all Wall Street is kind of uniform.
In 2018, I was kicked off out of PNC Bank because I was doing transactions through Coinbase, and they just kicked me out one day. They didn't give me any warning. They just closed my account, and I had to go to a physical office and get a check from them. And I opened with 2 other banks, but I really respect that Advantage Blockchain tries to keep it a little bit of a bankless situation.
Absolutely.
I guess I brought this article. I don't want to hop in the actual article. It's just talking about tokenization. It's more of kind of the theme behind it, that we're starting to get players like Mckinsey writing white papers about how tokenization is happening and what they see. There's a great website we use. I mean, I can go there right now. This is Real World. So this is one of our favorite websites to look at total real world assets on chain. And it's just kind of, people are curious. They understand that this trend is hard to stop. And when you see McKinsey and other consultants writing thought pieces about it, you have to imagine that C-suite executives at all these public and private companies are at least aware of this, even if they're not going to make moves this year, next year, in the next few years. It's just a whole different level of conversation and discourse with crypto as real world use cases than it was even just 2 years ago or 3 years ago. So it's really exciting.
Yeah, this looks like a nice tool. It's almost like a DeFi llama for real world assets.
Yeah.
Real world llama.
Yeah, I actually know these guys. They're really cool. We should try and get them on the show.
Yeah,
Agreed.
This is a cool tool for real world assets. I haven't seen this before, but this could be an even bigger class of blockchain assets eventually than crypto. It's possible, but at least a similar size.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, there's a lot more real world assets than there are digital ones. So the world is moving digital.
I think this is one of the most important charts, is a stablecoin chart. As we can see here, the stablecoin metrics, I don't know if they're exactly above, but it kind of looks like they're above the 2021, early 2022 peak. And stablecoins on chain, just like developers in an ecosystem, is, in my mind, one of the key metrics for growth.
Right on.
Yeah, shout out to Adam Lawrence. He did a great job with this.
Yeah, shout out A Lords. Moving on. VanEck, big crypto bullish firm. They're just throwing out some valuation projections that kind of get us excited. I mean, they're saying that $1 trillion market base case valuation for Ethereum L2s by 2030. That's only 6 years away. That's like maybe a 15-20x in total value among them. So it's doubling less, I guess.
What L2s would you guys bet on if you had to pick one?
The super chain optimism. That is optimism is actually our second biggest position next to ETH and RETH and staked ETH derivatives. We're very bullish on OP, very bullish on Base. There's an insane amount of activity happening on Base, and really Base is powered by the super chain. So my vote would be optimism and Base.
Super chain.
But optimism, the ecosystem is not a single, like if you had to choose a single chain, I feel like it's either OP or Base. It's not both. It's like optimism, the ecosystem is it's like, that's like saying EVM versus single chain.
I guess that is similar. Theoretically, optimism is the base layer, right? So the super chain, yes, is like the virtual machine that many different chains are building their L2s on, from Binance to Coinbase. So yes, I think that OP does a good job capturing the value of all of those. However, Base is the direct L2 that is, probably going to that has seen the most adoption in the past year, and certainly has billions of dollars of Coinbase pushing it higher and higher. So super bullish there.
I agree with that. I think Base will be the leader, mostly because it's not even just the developers behind Base, because I think every ecosystem has good developers. It's the business development people, it's the marketing, it's all the intangibles that a lot of ecosystems lack that Coinbase as a public company can recruit and utilize well. And I think that will give them a massive advantage.
Thanks. And if there's any guys at Coinbase or the Base ecosystem listening to this, Advantage Blockchain is bringing the world on chain. So we're working to help onboard everyone from high school to college students to grandparents to middle-aged dudes sitting on their couch trying to figure this all out. We're working to get everyone on chain smoothly, securely, safely.
Moving on, I threw this in here. This just touched on kind of the DeFi renaissance. I think DeFi, if you look at the charts, most of the main DeFi protocols, Maker, AAVE, Compound, have been down only against ETH for like 4 years. And they're starting to reach a point, we touched upon this maybe 2 weeks ago, where they're pretty cheap relative to traditional financial metrics like price of sales. And people are going to start to take notice of that. I think AAVE has rallied almost 100% recently. Granted, it's a small blip when you look at the down-only chart. I think the high was like 600 something, and now it's back in the 200s. But the ETH stored on AAVE has doubled over the past year. And so that's one of the kind of key metrics where they're not using any more token incentives. So this is natural product market fit. They're not paying anyone to store their ETH there. There's just demand for leverage, and AAVE is providing that. So it's one of those good examples of crypto protocols that have been around for 5+ years, and they clearly have product market fit without incentives, and I don't think they're going away anytime soon.
And what is AAVE for the newcomers? Just in one or two sentences, what would you classify AAVE as?
Yeah, it's a place where you can borrow and lend crypto products. Let's say you want to borrow against your Ethereum without selling it, or you want to lever up some stable coins. You can borrow up to, let's say, 70%, 75% LTV.
Nice.
Moving on, Pectra, the biggest upgrade in Ethereum's history. Might not be as sexy as 1559, might not be as cute as the merge, might not make everything cheaper like 4844, but do not underestimate Pectra.
Yeah, this is a massive one for the devs. I'm seeing it seems to be a lot of deeply technical stuff that is getting improved, especially from a development side, tooling for developers to help build a lot of different things easier, but I'll let you go into it.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good summary of it, that it will help the people that are building the blockchain build it quicker. And just to give you one example of this, every time you use a DeFi app right now, you basically have to click approve and then do the transaction. So it's 2 clicks repeatedly again and again and again. This simplifies it to the point where it's only 1 click. That makes it much easier to do anything really on chain. Obviously, it means you can get your wallet drained a little quicker if you don't do it the right way, if you click on some bad link. But overall, it'll make the user experience much less frictionless, which is how we get 1 billion people on chain.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I think that that will add a lot of efficiency. A lot of people also get confused with the multiple transactions, so hopefully if you can avoid some of those steps, it'll be easier for new users.
Yeah, I'm noticing timeline-wise as well. Pectra's expected to drop in Q1 of 2025. That's in line, I believe, with EIP 1559 dropping, and ETH 2.0 going live in Q1 of 2020. Right after that, I don't know if you still have a chart up, but if anyone wants to go take a look at a chart from 2020 Q1 of Ethereum, that is, I believe, when we started to go from 900 up to a few thousand. So I think the cycles don't lie, man. It's almost like the powers that be organize this stuff to line up with the election year cycles. But I do believe that 2025, especially the first half of the year, is going to be pretty bullish for the entire industry, especially Ethereum.
It lines up pretty well if you're paying attention, but most people aren't paying attention, and that's why we're here.
That's why they pay us. We can't talk about a major Ethereum upgrade without talking about Mr. Miggles, right?
I mean, the one and the only.
All right, so if you guys haven't heard, Mr. Miggles is one of the biggest upcoming memes on Base. I think I saw, it's always some random TikTok video of some guy saying, "Is Mr. Miggles the newest upcoming meme on Base?" And then you actually take a look into it. I mean, we've seen Coinbase on their own YouTube posted about a month ago. It's only got about 3,000 views. If you go type it on YouTube, Mr. Miggles Coinbase, they posted a promo about essentially why an NFT creator, or why creating something on chain enables you as a creator to capture way more value of your product, of your industry, whatever your project is. And Mr. Miggles is just a funny example of that. However, they launched a coin, right? We're going to assume that this is the same people behind the Mr. Miggles NFT that Coinbase is promoting. So this is actually our most recent AB fund position. We got in an average of about 32 cents. That's pumped, a few cents since then, but this is still very, very early days, right? We've only been around for about a month. This is about a 38, almost $40 million market cap with only $1 million worth of liquidity, as you can see on Dex Screener. I think that this is as far as meme coins go, a very potentially promising project. Obviously not investment advice. We encourage everyone to do their own research. But if you compare this to something like WIF with several hundred million, something like Doge with several billion in market cap, right? I think that Mr. Miggles could very well be the third addition to the trifecta of those different layer one meme coins. I mean, just because Base and Coinbase is behind it, that's already billions of dollars worth of sponsors and attention and developers that are going to be going towards this. So check out Mr. Miggles if you have not yet, and we'll see. We only put about 1% of our fund in so far, right? Anytime we're messing with meme coins, we're risking a very low amount, but these are typically the plays that are much more explosive, that are going to potentially do, either go to zero or do something like 10 to 100x. So we're pretty excited about this play, and we'll be tracking Mr. Miggles very closely.
If you want some good fun, join their Telegram group.
Yeah, Beckman is already going viral in the Miggles telly. For life.
You'll see me there.
I think we got Flooz as our last.
Just to touch upon not Mr. Miggles, but Dex Screener. Actually, I saw a stat the other day that Dex Screener does a crazy amount of revenue. That's pretty much pure profit, charging people to actually put on this picture here and get found. It's like $1,000 or a few $100s. And enough people do this every single day that they're printing like a few $100,000 or something like that, just from offering these images to people like us who are looking for these coins, which I thought was a pretty interesting business model. Slightly different than Pump.Fun, but still making money off kind of the meme coin meta.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, Dex Screener is one of the best tools in the game right now. It essentially gives everyone trading view for free on so many different assets on chain. So super, super valuable tool. If you have not already checked out Dex Screener, definitely get on there. If you're a trader, you can see a lot of really good insights about the live order books and try to get ahead of the next trader. So lastly, I see here Flooz. This is from doing some diligence on Mr. Miggles. That led me, of course, into a base rabbit hole. Some of their partners are different tools and applications in the base ecosystem that are being built. So this is one that I saw, Flooz. That's a pretty interesting tool. They've got a nice, sweet graphic up at the top with that rotating ETH. I'm becoming really fond of graphics and design and building our website. But essentially, this is like a much faster pace way to check trending coins on Ethereum. So you can sort by 5-minute volume, you can sort by daily volume, but this is essentially looking at all of the coins that are moving the most on chain in a super recent time frame. And I mean, this is how you find the new gems, right? It's like, of course, never just look at one coin, see one metric and go pump it, right? That's not really a great way to invest. But as far as finding new gems, you got to be turning over rocks everywhere. From YouTube videos with a couple hundred views to new applications like this, aggregators that are probably not getting that many eyes on them, but the on-chain metrics don't lie. That's the beauty of the blockchain, is that everything is transparent. So we can see in real live time where all the money is moving. This is a pretty interesting tool to be able to check out some new leads, and then people can dive deeper into however many rabbit holes they have time for.
Yeah, I know about Flooz because they were one of the first sites to let you buy Memecoins with fiat. So you can use Flooz to buy most of these coins with a credit card or Apple Pay. You see that there? So that's how they came up, and I guess they're making tools now too.
Yeah, so kids at home, if you want to use your mom's credit card to buy some Mr. Miggles, don't tell her that we told you how to do it.
Great. Well, let me stop sharing. What else do we want to cover today before we wrap? Is there any other highlights? It's been an interesting month in crypto. I mean, people say crypto's easy. They say it's up only. Then you get random 40% drops. So
I'm bullish, man. I'm super bullish. I've been reviewing a lot of our trades in the past year to the past 8 years. We've been active in full-time crypto since 2016. Pretty much our whole team has. And it is so hard to outperform Ethereum, man. It's crazy. And I've been seeing a lot of the best macro investors to ETH investors to different hedge funds talk about this point really in the past few months, is that it's just really hard to outperform ETH. It's hard to outperform ETH. It's hard to outperform Bitcoin. So, everyone can try, and it's encouraged to try, right? That's how you gain alpha. But if you're just looking at the numbers, right, with some of these tools that we've shown you here today, it's a really big battle, man. And I think outperforming these assets that are wildly outperforming the US dollar and the S&P and stocks, it's definitely a challenge. However, just holding those assets, even the top ones, having exposure to that is better than having zero exposure. And I think that if you can get your hands on some ETH and get your hands on some Bitcoin, that is a trade in itself, right? And that is, ultimately going to lead a lot of people towards a lot of new capital generation. So very, very bullish, very excited about the whole industry right now, honestly.